Alright guys, in today's video we're going to look at the envelope system for budgeting, probably made famous by Mr. Dave Ramsey. So we're going to break down the envelope system. We'll see what it is, how it works, and how you can implement it in your personal budget. So to start off with, let's go over just what the envelope system is. So the envelope system is basically when you use cash for different categories in your budget. So this is it assumes a couple of things: that one, you have a budget, and two, your budget is categorized. So if you do not have a budget, then you need to set up a budget, and I'll link in the description to a video on exactly how to do a budget that meets your current lifestyle situation. So the envelope system, once again, is using cash and assigning the cash to different categories, and each category is represented by an envelope. In the old days, it used to be simple manila envelopes. Now you can use spreadsheets, or there are some envelope apps that are out there, and I'll link to one that I found that I think is pretty good. So it allows you to see exactly how much money you have in each category at any given time. So it's a great visual. And just a quick look at this spreadsheet right here. If you take a look at the personal category envelope right there, you'll see that it's negative because the initial amount that was put in there was 50, and they used 66.84. So obviously they were in the negative, and even when they put an extra $10 in there, they're still negative 684. So it's a great visual to show you exactly where you stand, and it can also expose some things to you about your budget. So another cool thing about this is that you do not have to save up any money to start using the envelope system. And basically, a simple example would be something like, let's say you have a budget of $500 a month for groceries, right? When you receive your first paycheck of the month, you would either go to the bank to withdraw from a personal check, or you would go to the ATM and withdraw the full amount for the groceries, or whatever amount you have allocated for that particular paycheck. So let's say you can take $300 out of the bank from that check. So you take the $300 and you put it in an envelope, right? And then on that envelope you write groceries. You can also allocate a certain amount into your spreadsheet. So when you physically do it, or when you theoretically do it, you can allocate that to this spreadsheet, or to whatever spreadsheet you're using, and then you keep track of it that way. So a couple of things to note about the envelope system for budgeting is, before you start the envelope system, you again have to determine how much you have available, right? After you pay your bills and you've put money aside. And once you know how much money you have left, then you decide how you're going to divide it among the different budget categories in which your monthly spending varies. So you also assume with this budgeting system that you're covering expenses and you're covering necessities up front, right? Groceries are variable, so even though they're necessities, they would fall in this category. But stuff like housing, your rent, or your mortgage is not going to change. Your car payment is not going to change. Your insurance, that's not going to change. So you're paying for all of that. When you've gotten all that stuff out of the way, whatever's left over, that's what you allocate into these envelopes. So, stuff like gifts, clothing, and any other discretionary stuff such as that. If you don't know where to start and you're like, I have no idea how to do it, you can get your bank to print you out a statement for any period of time. You can do it for a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. I just go to my bank's website and I download it in a Excel spreadsheet, and then I categorize things based on what store I went to, or based on the categories that I think in my mind are going to make up these different envelopes or pockets, right? And then that way it gives you an idea of roughly what you spend on a monthly basis on what. Plus also it's a pretty good eye opener, because it gives you an idea of where some of the money goes, because I can almost guarantee you most of us sit down at the end of the month and they're like, man, we made this kind of money or this kind of money, but we don't know where the money went. This is a good way for you to be able to do that. So once you've done that, you have determined your categories, you have withdrawn the money that you're going to put in each one of these envelopes. Then you're going to, every time you get paid, you're going to put the money in the envelope. So let's say you get paid every 2 weeks, and you've determined that you're going to put $800 into your account for groceries. So every time you get paid, you're going to put $400 from each paycheck and put it into the grocery envelope, right? And so you can start utilizing that money. Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're only using the cash that is in those envelopes. Do not start using the money that's in your account using your debit accounts, your debit cards. And once you run out of cash that you have budgeted for that particular pay period, you should not spend anything in that category. Now, if let's say you have a discretionary / entertainment envelope and you have money in that envelope, but you have used up all the money that you had in the grocery envelope, and now you need to get something else in the grocery category, you can reallocate some of those funds, take them from one envelope to the other. As long as you're using the cash that you have allocated, that's fine. But you do not want to go and withdraw more cash, because the whole point of this is to help you build discipline. Another good thing about this is it can help you pay off debt. So if you're constantly having money left over, then that means that you've over allocated for those particular categories. And what you can do is you can take some of that money and you can go ahead and put it up into paying off debt. Start using some of that to bring that debt payment down. And so that, you put yourself in a situation where you are no longer in debt, but now you can start using the money to invest and to grow for your own financial future. So that's just a pretty basic and simple breakdown of the envelope system. If we focus on the spreadsheet for a little while, as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You have your available balance, and you have the transaction amounts, and then you have to the right all your different envelopes. So each time you deposit into the envelope, that shows as a credit, and then when you take out, it comes out of those envelopes and gives you a running total. It lets you know at each specific point in time how much is available for each envelope, and it's pretty straightforward. It's a good visual. Once again, if you get negative, the envelope turns pink, and it shows you that, hey, you are negative in this envelope. So again, I hope this little video has been informative. Hope it's given some people some ideas that they can implement, that they can incorporate into their existing budgeting, if they already have some kind of budgeting system going on. Again, remember, the borrower is slave to the lender, and our goal is to become financially free, financially stable, and financially independent. So leave me comments, concerns, issues in the comment box below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with another video on personal finances.